and that star, I do it so well. It's Puma on the toes, but the stars on the clothes. I'm Starboy, fresh at the DF Dub. Yeah, I'm a hard hitter. Don't stare to fit, it'll ego hit you. What is you saying, man? Look at the swag. Please do forgive the brag. I'ma pull up later in the Cowboy Jag. Don't you slip on the drip, I'm flossing the sauce. Go so hard for the star. Yeah, that be win, lose, or draw. If you take a L, get the F off my block. Cowboys win. Rock Joes, pull up the shots. Really can't help it, got a star status. Even got it tatted on my arm. Yes, we be 5 green strong. Left a little room cause it's quest for the Sids. Starboy really reppin' this shit. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's no more left in me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. I'ma keep reppin' loud until there's nothing left in me. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys to the death for me.
Yeah, tell me who the #1 fan. Yeah, Mr. Westside, I'm the man. Dallas Cowboys from my head to the toes. They better recognize who the fuck I am. Damn, haters run their mouth like a bitch when they team ain't shit and my team stay lit. Yeah, I'm about to rep this shit to the day I die in an all blue casket. If you wanna get with a club with love, tell Star Status Westside sent ya. Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. Emmett Smith is our main. Game time, prime time, all the time. Your team ain't never on TV like mine. That's because we different. We America's team and we run this. Like Zeke runs circles right at defense. Jerry Jones, that's nonsense. Let the coaches coach. And I'll have a smoke. And I know y'all want to toast to that.
Dallas Cowboys to the death for me. Dallas Cowboys to the death for me.
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, man. So, yo, man, I got some breaking news coming out of Dallas right now, man. The Dallas Cowboys have signed themselves a safety, man. The Dallas Cowboys have signed themselves a safety. It looks like as if the Dallas Cowboys have inked a 1-year deal with former Bears safety Ha Ha Clinton-Dix. Remember, he was with the Bears before that, but before he was with the Bears, he was actually with the Green Bay Packers. So, I mean, it does look like, the Dallas Cowboys are bringing in a lot of former Packers, but at the same time, that also brings in, a type of culture. I ain't gonna lie, I actually like this pickup. He's probably going to be playing at your strong safety position. If you're wondering what this box is there, it's for Boss Cowboy. He's a little, he moves a little slower sometimes. But he gonna be jumping on here in a couple minutes. Also, I got Buddha. I see you. I see my inbox. I see it going off. I see it, brother. I see it. He said, what are you talking about? He said, well, if it happens during the... Okay, so yeah. All right, Buddha, I see you. So we up in here. What up with you, Terrell? I see you, man. I see everybody. Star Beezy. What up with you, Jamez? What's up with you? Tracy, I see you. Brian, I see you. Adrian, I see you. Leah, I see you. I see all the supporters in the house, man. But, yo, right off the rip, man, hey, look at him. Like late, like he on the first day. What up with you, Boss Cowboy? I see you peeking up in here. Is you up in here, man?
Yeah.
All right, let me see if I can get your camera on here. All right, as soon as you blip in, I'll get you on the screen. But yeah, man, right off the rip, I like this pickup. If you're looking at who is he replacing, he's replacing your guy. And also make sure you get live on Instagram because it's cracking on Instagram. But he's going to come in. He's going to replace Jeff Heath. So you would assume he's going to be playing in something like a strong safety position. But, I mean, I absolutely love this move for the Dallas Cowboys. I love that the Cowboys are being aggressive. And more than anything, Boss Cowboy, that more than just me loving that they're being aggressive, we had different things. Man, you got to get up on Instagram. We had different things that we put out there that we knew. We had different things that we put out there that we knew that were going to be an issue. You know what I'm saying? And one thing I love about the Dallas Cowboys right now is they are actually they're actually making sure they're on top of those needs before you get to the draft. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I'm absolutely loving. Is that all the needs and everything that we said that we have issues were at the beginning of this offseason, man, the Dallas Cowboys are taking care of them now, and that's how you're supposed to do it, man. That's how you're supposed to do it. I was actually live on 2 feeds on Facebook twice. I was so excited. Boss Cowboy, right off the rip, man, what are your thoughts on this acquisition, this pickup from the Dallas Cowboys?
It's a good one. It's a real good one now. Ha had some bad years about 2 years ago and 3 years ago. And now he had a good year last year. I think a lot of it had to do with actually partnering with guys that he was very comfortable with. So when you kind of play with guys that you play with in college, that sometimes can bring your moxie back, your swag back, and you start kind of seeing restorations of his greatness from Alabama. So, I mean, he made a lot of tackles. He didn't get a lot of interceptions, but he made a lot of good tackles. And I really watched him. So, I mean, he's a good pick. He can make plays. I think, and I'm pretty sure that he's better than Woods. I would definitely say he's better than Woods for sure. I'm not sure what kind of leadership he's going to bring, but I like the pick. It puts us in a situation where we're not reaching for safety. We're not stretching. We're in a position where we say, okay, we can go into the draft and we truly positioning ourselves the best player available. So it's good. And the Cowboys are doing a real good job. His price is only $4 million.
Make sure you get up on Instagram,
classic. It's
boss.
a quality Stephen Jones move.
Absolutely. Make sure you get up on Instagram. I got my boy Sin City Stargang. He said, what do you think of the draft so far? I mean, to be honest with you, we ain't got a draft, but one thing I love about this right here is it's the Dallas Cowboys are making it so that this draft is not going to matter. Just like I said in January, that's how you're supposed to make the draft. Like if you're going into a draft thinking to yourself that, man, we got to hit on this, we got to do this, then guess what? Your team's probably not going to be good. But if you go into a draft and your mindset is, man, we can just now pick truly the best player available or the best need available, because you shouldn't be going into a draft with a need. That's the whole purpose of free agency. You know what I'm saying? You should never be going into a draft with a need. And I love the fact that the Dallas Cowboys seem like they understand that now. Why? Because if you notice, each major position or each major hole that we've needed, the Dallas Cowboys are attacking it with free agent grown men. So I like this pickup, man. He's definitely an upgrade over Jeff Heath. He's definitely an upgrade. Yes, the Dallas Cowboys did sign Ha Ha Clinton-Dix. He's definitely an upgrade over Jeff Heath. He's definitely an upgrade over Xavier Woods. And I'm going to be honest with you, he doesn't have to be the best safety in the NFL. I don't care about that. What I like is that he's a better safety than what we have on this team right now. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? That whole pendulum of guys just being here and being able to just get positions because of whatever reason, man, I ain't gonna lie. This really lets me know that McCarthy really was watching tape, because a lot of people put it out there that that Xavier Woods, because Xavier Woods had the highest incentive from the NFL because of his play last year. So a lot of people assume that automatically meant that he had this stellar year last year. And that was not the case, man. That was not the case. You know what I'm saying? So I love this, man. I absolutely love this move. And it takes the Dallas Cowboys, I think, out of desperation mode for any position outside of guard. Like, I think this is like, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna look into Boss Cowboys guide tonight and see who does he have as his number one guard. But as of right now, with the Dallas Cowboy dropping Ha Ha, because in a perfect world, I would like to see Ha Ha Clinton-Dix as my strong safety, and then I would like to see Donovan Wilson as my free safety. Why? Because I want Donovan Wilson to be able to run around and do whatever the heck he wants to do. Why? Because he's a ball hawking safety, and then I can drop Ha Ha in the middle and allow him to tackle. And the thing about it is, it's like if Jeff Heath's been able to do that job and been able to do it successful, man, I don't think we're going to fall off much because he's better than Jeff Heath. You know what I'm saying? So if anything, I'm going to get an upgrade at that position. You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling this, man. I'm really, really feeling this, man. What does this say about pick 17?
I'm actually looking at him in the guide. I had him as my 6th ranked free safety in the Dallas Cowboy offseason guide. So he's 6'1", 211. His previous contract was $3 million. So already a good price from last year. Another good thing is he played all 16 games. Okay. So he didn't miss a game. That's good to know. He's 27. So he's young, right? Going into a 1-year contract. That's a very good thing. Then the fact that he has 78 tackles. Okay. So when I watched this film, had a couple of insight things on him just to kind of share real quick, just so since he's a member of the team, now we can kind of break him down a little bit further. I said safety had a huge rebound year with the Bears. Clinton-Dix was starting to look like his best days were behind him until his reunion with Eddie Jackson. Sometimes players need new environments with old friends to get their former groove back.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
They make him familiar of
Clinton,
what the
Clinton would
familiarities.
likely extremely team friendly because he would likely be extremely team friendly because most teams won't ignore the old film. To a depleted safety room, Clinton-Dix could be substantial addition to come in and upgrade safety Xavier Woods or Jeff Heath.
Wow. And
So-
that was your sixth. Think about this. At your sixth best available safety, you were saying that he was still an upgrade over Xavier Woods and over Heath. That's amazing. That's wild. Sound like the
Yeah.
Cowboys
Yeah.
bought the book.
And
Somebody
I love your
in Dallas
plan-
bought the
your
book.
plan, excellent plan, bro. See, because Donovan Wilson, bro, like, see your plan, bro. It's something that like it's man. Let me try to say it like, okay. So when you watch Donovan Wilson, one thing that you really see is he has very fluid hips, very fluid change of direction. And that's why he was getting a lot of his interceptions in the preseason, because from a quarterback perspective, they learn kind of certain ranges to where it seems to where people can't do it, but he can because his change of direction is so fluid, you know? So like when he made that interception on the sideline in the preseason, everybody started jumping on him, crunk and all that kind of stuff. Man, he was so out of range to be able to do that. You know what I mean? So it's something to where, and he likes to go get the ball. He's a guy that he will get you. I guarantee you that he will get you at least 3 or 4 interceptions. You know what I mean? He's go get the ball. So, and you could put Ha Ha in the box, you know, and go with that. Yeah, I would love that plan, you know. And I think that they gonna look good. And I have a real good feeling about Donovan having a whole professional offseason, you know, coming in and competing. I think we're gonna see a nice little upgrade in Donovan. A nice upgrade. I think we're gonna see about maybe 10 more pounds. You know, he gonna put on some safety weight to be able to take that contact, you know, protect his shoulder. Yeah, it's a very good move, and it just shows you how important coaching is. It really does. And I'm almost finished. Like, it shows you that like Heath was never leaving until Jason Garrett left. He wasn't leaving. And the moment he left, and I said we were never gonna get a safety until Heath leaves. And he left, and just sure enough, boom. And we might get another one. I mean, because there's still some good ones in here.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna keep it absolutely real with you, man. Like, no shade to Antoine Woods. I mean, not Antoine Woods, but Xavier Woods. But I mean, on film, he was your worst DB last year. Like, as far as just like coverage, and not even just coverage, just what you're supposed to do at your position, man. Like, if I had to rank him, he was out there, and like there was games where he had multiple missed tackles, and it's like not even. And I'm not trying to rag on him, but it's just like. I honestly think that he would be better at slot. You know what I'm saying? Because he's never going to get bigger. He can always get faster. But even if he meets you at the goal line, we've already seen that if he meets you at the goal line with somebody else, somebody's going through you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why keep putting him at that position? Eventually he's going to get hurt and his career is going to be shorter. Just move him to something where he can excel, man. I put Xavier Woods at the slot and he'd actually be on the field. Like, if you put Xavier Woods at the slot right now, he'd get some playing time. Why? Because that's a position that's open right now. You know what I'm saying? And Woods is a guy he's played in the slot. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think I'd actually prefer, I don't know if I'd prefer him over Anthony Brown at the slot, but I definitely feel that I would feel comfortable with him there, but I still like Woods. Still wouldn't mind seeing him to get on the field or somewhere. But yeah, man, at the safety play, man, I'm all in on my boy Donovan Wilson and my boy and Ha Ha Clinton-Dix out there at my safety. That's definitely where I'm headed. You know what I'm saying? That's a
good look.
Yeah, you might see a video on that tomorrow, because you have a guy that's a pretty much sheer tackler out there, and then you have a guy who has fluid hips, like you said, so he's able to bait those bait those quarterbacks into letting that ball go. And one thing I like about Donovan Wilson, man, is he bails he's a really, really good at bailing at the last moment. And that's why, like, if you notice, two of his touchdowns. 2 of his interceptions that he got were bad balls. Like one time, the one in San Francisco, the quarterback was trying to throw. No, it was either San Francisco or Houston. No, it was the Houston game where the quarterback was literally trying to throw the ball out of bounds. You know what I'm saying? And he ran to the. He just bailed on the ball and just caught the ball, like just took the ball right out the ball, right at, you know what I'm saying? Right as the ball was going out of bounds. And it's like, that's what you want that's definitely what you want from your safety. So it's like those 2 guys back there. I mean, I definitely see some turnovers. When Mike, also something I like about what I'm seeing about these coaches is, man, these coaches was talking a big old game when they came in, and they talk is starting to match what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Mike Nolan said he's a guy that values turnovers. He's a guy that well, guess what? You know, he also valued this and that, and you're starting to see it in the players that they're bringing in. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you something else, Boss Cowboy. You know, this also solidifies the fact that the Dallas Cowboys are in win now mode. We are trying to win a Super Bowl this year. So I don't want to hear people talking about, nah, I don't want to, no, it's too early. No, we are trying to win a Super Bowl this year. It is like, you know, these moves that you're making from the Dallas Cowboys, bringing in these older veteran players on 1-year deals, incentive-laced deals, that lets me know that this is a very hungry staff that wants to prove it right now. You know what I'm saying? They want to prove it right now. And I'm all for it, baby. I'm all for it. It's Kerry says, will X Wood be playing in a contract year this season? I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know. I mean, I think they're going to let it. I mean, the best way to do it, the best way and the fair way to do it is to allow training camp to determine that. But, I mean, just because it's a contract year for every single player in the NFL because I can cut you at any moment. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, sometimes we're a little bit more aggressive, but it's a contract year every single year in the NFL. Why? Because someone every single year is trying to take your job. You know what I'm saying? Anthony says, is there something we are not seeing with Wilson, though? He got no playing time last year. To be honest with you, man, there was a whole lot of favoritism last year. That's why every single coach on the staff got fired except for Kellen Moore. Like, think about this. They had like 16 coaches on staff. They fired 15 of them. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you fire 15 people, especially in a staffing, you can't blame any of the players for anything that happened last year. You fired so many coaches. I mean, in my opinion, that lets you know that you said that the coaches had a large percent of what happened last year because you fired them all. You know what I'm saying? But what, Boss Cowboy, man, before we get up out of here, man, because this is a breaking news show. We weren't going to go a full hours, but I wanted to do something real quick. Man, what do you think this does for your draft, man?
I mean, the guard idea is super, super, super duper going on me. Because, see, that's a position where you can get kind of like the top of the shelf, like super top of the shelf, right? Targeting guard at 17. Like, you can literally get you a top grade starter guard now. Left guard. That'll be strictly amazing. Like, you know, so like Wesco said, he go through the guide tonight and look at some of the guys, you know, but it's they got a guy out there for 17, Solomon Kinley, you know, and I really, really like Deontay Brown. Maybe not for 17 because it was some kind of character that I think it was some character kind of question mark. So, you know, we can wait on that. But in terms of quality play, man, I'm talking about game changers. You know what I mean? Guards they go come in and ball. I mean, we ain't worried about left guard at all. See, because you know what we've been doing at left guard? Like, you know, the Connor Williams thing to move him from tackle to guard and try to put some weight on him. You know, he played through a knee injury. And some guys, you know, when you got to kind of really build them into a guard like that, and you got to go through like a whole kind of, you know, transformers kind of thing to get them to play guard. It's like these guys are plugs. You plug and they guards. You know what I mean? And they're gonna get great push and great push and great pass protection. So yeah, so 17, the ideal of guard is growing on me, and then and that would be probably the only premium pick I would stay there for. So other than that, I would still move down. You know, I would still move down and target tight end.
Unless you go get, imagine this. What if you wake up tomorrow and they say the Dallas Cowboys sign Joe Looney. If we sign
It
Joe
is.
Looney, sell the pick. Sell the pick. You know what I'm saying? See what you can get for pick 17. Like, see what you can get it. Because, man, if you get Joe Looney, I think we could actually go play a game tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We will have
Joe
sold up
Looney?
not Joe Looney, but Ron Leary. Not Joe Looney, I'm sorry. Ron Leary.
Oh, I'll be cool too. So that it'll change again, right?
Yeah, if we
So
go
if
get,
you
I meant to say
you
Ron
get
Leary.
Leary, like if you get Leary, you literally sitting back like,
Sell the pick.
like literally you can just go volume, like quality, like see, because we still got some low key needs that like tight end, right? So Jarwin is not enough. Like you gonna have to have another tight end, and Schultz is not good enough, you know. So you gonna have to get another tight end that can play, you know. And this is a good tight end class for athletic tight ends, you know. So you can actually plug that. And let's say if we don't attack the red zone through this off season, right, where we try to correct that red zone deficit, we can then maybe still move down and target Claypool or Mims. You see what I'm saying? And then what you're doing with those guys is you trying to get bigger targets that are red zone targets. And you know everybody know Mims did super good at the combine. So he has the measurables, and then he has the film, most importantly. And Claypool just was a freak, you know, a super freak in terms of his athleticism. He's a, you know, basketball player out of Canada, man, that, you know, has all the background box out skills and things that you want in a guy that can post up for points, you know. So it opens up a whole different strategy when they start filling these holes. And see, this is why we never tease y'all. We never tease y'all on the show. When y'all will say, well, who should we get for 17? We always said we can play with that and start saying, you know, who might make sense. But at the end of the day, we got to get through this process, the process we're going through right now. So even the addition of Ha Ha just changed everything, right? McCoy changed everything. So Kinlaw looks different with a McCoy. So does, you know, Delpit. It looks different as a need, you know. It looks different now because you have those needs plugged for the most part with pretty good band-aids, like quality starters, like let's go say grown men, you know. So it's making this draft look sexier, you know, because you can do so much with it without feeling like you have to reach for anything.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, and that's where you want to be. That's the perfect draft scenario, because no matter if you're in that position, you technically can't bust on anybody because everybody is being drafted for this for a want. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know how you be like, you know, when I have this thing, I rule in my house, and I tell my wife, when I'm really, really hungry, cook something I know. You know what I'm saying? Don't know no experiments. Don't give me nothing brand new I ain't never ate before. If I'm really, really, when I tell you I'm really, really hungry. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because when I'm really, really hungry, I want that for sure thing. You know what I'm saying? But when you already full, you try some things. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? That's the mindset you want to go into the draft. You don't want to go into the draft starving. Why? Because you know what you're going to do? You're going to eat everything. And that's how, and I can't even really say that's how you get a taco, because I actually like Taco Charleston. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you get a Reach. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get a Tristan Hill. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Dallas Cowboys go into these drafts with the mindset of, man, we full. Like, we looking for a guy that can come in here and push for a premium backup spot. You know what I'm saying? And think about this. Not only do you want a guy that can maybe push for a premium backup spot, but you also need to be thinking about this offense. Man, I'm sorry. As much as I talk about it, man, the more I think about going offensive line, bro, because I think the offensive line right now, as far as the draft, is like, in my opinion, like the biggest movable pieces. Because if something happens, if the backups behind the offensive line they're not. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm trying to keep it positive.
Oh man, it's a super good idea, bro. Especially when you marry that idea with the ideal prospects that's likely gonna be there.
And I'm about to give my quarterback $35 million. So I gotta
looking at this draft can already kind of tell that the tackles are gonna be in demand first, right? So it's a lot of good ones, and it's a lot of people that need tackles. So, you know, just that alone, and we predicted last year is going to be a run on those D tackles. It's going to be a run on actually offensive tackles this year. So that's going to leave right around us guards. I mean, good ones. I mean, good ones. I mean, when I say good, I mean good ones. You know, I'm talking about Zeke will run for 1,800 yards. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm serious. So I'm not joking. I'm laughing. We'll look back at this day. I promise you, I will remember this day. If we get one of these goals, it's gonna be sitting there.
And think about this. And think about this,
Like
Boss Cowboy.
West Coast started talking about. He started talking about this at the end of the last show. But he was like, "Boss, let's go through all of the needs." And we went through all the needs. I said, "Man, that guard looked real good." And so now, man, it's a real good idea to kind of put our eyes on that. Now, can we play one more before you go? Because I know you gotta go
but let me
back
just
to
say something about this offensive line before we switch it, because I don't want to talk about a subject, but I don't come back
That's fine.
because we got some people saying no offensive lineman. We got people saying no offensive lineman first unless we trade Tyron Smith to get a late first. Like, first off, Tyron Smith and guard don't even play the same position. So I mean, they would never even be in conjunction with each other. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like, I think you guys need to take your eyes off the candy, because sometimes in the draft we want candy. Wide receivers are candy, corners is candy, these big names are candy. But guess what? It's been these offensive linemen that's been the deciding fact of what we are as a team, right? You know what I'm saying? You're not a running team unless you have a running back, and most importantly, an offensive line. We need to get this offensive line back to the days when they say, "Oh, if you put anybody behind that offensive line, they can run." Well, guess what? We got somebody who's better than everybody. So if you get this offensive line back to it's really the number one offensive line in the NFL with really the best running back in the NFL. With a top five, like, think about this.
Be the number one.
Like, boss, let me think about this. Think about this, right? Imagine if you get this offensive line back to a top five, and you really have a top five quarterback, and you really have a top five wide receiver, and you really have the best running back in the NFL. You know what you are? You're a 40 points offensive. You're scoring 40 points. If you're telling me that Dak has all the time in the world to throw the ball, and then most importantly, because your guard is going to determine you what? Being able to run. So guess what that also means? That means we're a play-action team now again. Do you know what that also means we can do now? The screenplay. You want to know why the screenplay isn't really as successful? Yeah, it's not as successful when your guards can't get out, when your tackles can't get out like that. We need to drop, man, I'm telling you, the biggest hole on this team right now, past free agency, is the guard. I know it's not flashy, and I know it's not a jersey you're gonna go buy. And even if you get, and I'm gonna be honest with you, even if you get Ron Leary is a Band-Aid. I don't want to Band-Aid this anymore. You want to know why? Because Zeke is going to be my running back for the next 5 years. I need to make sure that Zeke stands up. And I'm gonna tell you why the offensive line is so important, because the offensive line protects all this money that I've already spent. I already spent money on Dak. Why? Because I'm about to give him $33 million regardless if he takes a deal or not. I've already given Cooper $100 million, and I've given Ezekiel Elliott $90 million. Bro, that's almost $300 million. How do I protect $300 million? By go get a flashy another wide receiver? No. By going to go get a flashy defensive end? No. What you do is you get a goddamn guard, you drop him in the middle of this offensive line, right between Tyron. If you put the best guard in this draft beside Tyron Smith, you know what happens to Tyron Smith? He goes back to being Tyron Smith. You know what happens to Travis Frederick? Travis Frederick goes back to being Travis Frederick. Zach Martin, he always been Zach Martin. And then La'el Collins, you know what he does? He does La'el Collins stuff. And you know what you're able to do? You're able to run the ball successfully for the next 2 to 3 years, probably even 4. You're able to pass the ball. Why? Because, man, Dak is standing straight up. So all the money that you've already spent is now being able to be used. I'm going to tell you right now, if we can't run the ball, it defeats the purpose of having Ezekiel Elliott. If Dak can't stand up, if Dak can't stand up to throw the ball, why are we paying him? Why did we pay Cooper if we can't get the ball down the field? The number one thing, and I'm going to tell you guys, if you go get a guard, if you go get it, and that's why I'm really, really sold on it. I'm really, really unless the Cowboys, and even if we go get a older guard, unless we get a younger guard right now, I think right now that's the one position that can help the entire team. Because if my team can run better, I help D-Law. You want to know why? Because he doesn't play as much. If my team can run better, you know what I do? I help Dak bet. I help Dak. Why? Because now my play action game is fleek. If I can run better, guess what? Zeke has always been who he is. Zeke running better ain't gonna do nothing but help Zeke run better. That's it. Like if you go get a guard and fortify this offensive line, and it is really the number one offensive line in football, bro, we're gonna be the Golden State Warriors of football, bro. That's what we'll be. Like literally, that's what we'll be, because we've never had an offensive line this good with a defensive line, the Hot Boys. We think about this. The last time the offensive line was number one, where was your pass rush rate ranked, boss? Tell me.
31st.
31st. There's only 32 teams in the NFL. And you know what that lets me know? Boss knows the exact year that I'm talking about. Because everybody else thinks that, in 2016, we weren't the number one. We weren't. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you all that. You get this offensive line with the number one offensive line, and and think about this. There's no reason why we shouldn't be the number one offensive line right now anyway. You know what I'm saying? But if we really do
man, you gotta take a breath, bro. I gotta.
We really go do it.
Jesus Christ.
We really go do it, bro. If we really go do it,
man.
If we really go do it, bruh.
I do want to give.
Go ahead, let me hear some.
A couple of reasons why I agree with you 100% on this guard, and I'm glad somebody kind of questioned it, because sometimes we kind of got to talk about the reasons why as well. Another thing that it does to just kind of add to West Coast is the fact that it also increases our depth automatically, right? So that's another piece. You're done with depth with just one pick, right?
Yep.
So he's doing a really good job of breaking down the real need, and that it's a need, because just think about it. We have Williams that's coming off a lot of holding penalties, and think about how many touchdowns was taken back because of the holding penalties. Like Cobb himself probably had about 4 taken back.
He had two.
I mean, come on now, that's a lot of points on the guard, you know. And so if you get a guard, and it's not a guard, because I hate saying a guard, it's about getting the guard. So this is, and the strategy makes sense on what he's saying, because of how the draft is positioned, a super quality one is gonna fall.
Probably the best.
He's so right on the domino effect. That's a super domino effect. It affects the defense when you can run better, control the clock, you can control games. You can buy time for Dak, which helps you receive. He killed it. Like and it does restore greatness to the offensive line. It epically restores greatness with these guys, and it's good ones, and it's not sexy. He right on that, but just think of, it's just too many pluses. You get the depth, you get a better receiver, you get a better quarterback, you get more time, you get more running game, you have the top guard likely,
like Zach Martin type, like the Zach. Imagine like for 30.
Type, yeah.
Imagine a Zach Martin type player on the other side. Imagine having 2 Zach Martin like players.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah, and like just in just terms of the quality this draft, it's a quality guard class. So you get all of that, man, just with one pick. Is it makes it just that's almost like the only thing that's worth sitting there for, and it's, as much as I love Leary, I would love the ideal of a Solomon Kinley just a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? I would love it just because it's 5 years of that. To your point, great point, that it's not 1 year, which I love Leary for a Band-Aid. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a real good
amazing. I'd be happy. But it's almost like the cost and the return on investment is best. So I don't see how you can make a better case on 17, right? Because it's just too much that's affected, and it just makes sense.
Yeah, man. And I mean, and if you're looking for, like, my thing is this, like, I don't know, like, Cowboys signed $100 million quarterback, wide receiver, and you still got people asking for a wide receiver in the draft. That's I get it. I get it. Some of you just see it, but fans is just crazy. Like, no, like, You know what I'm saying? Like I'm at 17, I want to see what this $20 million look like. Like I'm like the $20 million, I need to be 12, 13 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, you know, at 17, and then think about this: if Dak got more,
Dak with clean pockets.
I was literally about to say that. Dak with a clean pocket, everybody's gonna have more touchdowns anyway.
Right, it's over.
Because he's gonna light you up. Like he's gonna light you up with time. So I mean, it's and then think about this, like
try to imagine a Leo Collins type. Because let's say we overreach with the Zach Martin. Let's just go a step down and say let's go with Liel's rookie
year.
Yeah, bro, you all the way talk me into it. Like it's one of those things to where when you just like really just weigh out everything, just the whole weight of and it just fits so well.
Yeah,
it fit. And the most important thing I want people to forget, it's gonna be the quality of the guard, not just it's not just selling just a guard. It's the quality that's gonna be there. Like if you can get, it's Leo Collins rookie year type quality, and everybody remember that when he walked in. Everybody remember him running downfield with McFadden.
Yeah,
you can't forget it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody remember him taking out Earl Thomas.
Yeah,
and Malcolm Smith in one play. Everybody remember that, and that's what you add to this team, to Dak with new leadership. Cooper paid and relaxed and not fighting over money, and Zeke paid. Oh my God.
Bruh, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you give this offense, if you give the Dallas Cowboys the number one offensive line in football, Dak is gonna throw for 50 touchdowns. I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
Because Dak already threw a gang of touchdowns. Like this is what I'm thinking about, right? I'm thinking about what I'm thinking about is Dak, because Dak has gotten better every single year. Hey, I got a guy, Larry Sosa, man. I'm gonna make you feel real special, man, because he's a Cowboy fan. He just don't know a lot. He doesn't appreciate his quarterback. But if you please stay to the end of the show, I promise you're gonna appreciate your quarterback by the end of the show. Okay, I get it because I don't want to go on. I'm gonna come back to you though, Larry. He made us. I gotta go to. Can I say this real quick, man? He said Dak Prescott can only win with a loaded team. Well, guess what? So can LeBron. LeBron can only win with a loaded team. Michael Jordan can only win with a loaded team. Who's some other guys? Tom Brady. I think he had a pretty loaded team. He had Gronkowski. He had a bunch of other guys on there. Dang, Joe Montana. He can only win with a. Hey, Boss Cowboy, can you tell me a quarterback that didn't win with a loaded team? Steph Curry can only win with a loaded team.
Yeah. I don't even know if I ain't feel like dealing with them types tonight.
What'd you say, boss? We did not get on the show to do this tonight. But I'm just saying, man, and then, I mean, my thing is this. Troy Aikman could only win with a loaded team. I think the purpose of a team is to be loaded. Like, I don't like.
Okay, cool.
Like, I don't. Can I ask you a better question, boss? Boss? Why do people feel that Dak needs to be on a team by himself and win a team by himself for him to get his respect? Like, didn't Troy Aikman have these people called the triplets? Didn't Troy Aikman have the best running back in the NFL? Didn't he have the best wide receiver in the NFL all on the same team? And what did he get from that? What did he get from that? He got 3 Super Bowls. So loaded teams tend to win Super Bowls. Like, come on, man. Like, don't you want to win a Super Bowl?
They like to just go through.
I said, I don't feel like doing this tonight.
Get us in our feelings, man. It's like, stop it. Like, we know, like, we get it. You know, nobody that's silly. You know, we all know that.
Nick Foles did not win a team by himself.
He's the all-time running back and the greatest line.
Nick Foles had.
You got great quarterbacks like Elway didn't do anything until he got
Terrell Davis.
So I mean, like, you know, you don't have a Michael Jordan without Scottie Pippen, man. Come on, bro. Like, we know that. You don't have Carl Lewis without his first leg. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a sprint relay champion unless you got a team of them. So, I mean, come on, man. You trying to act like water not wet. So
yeah, like, if your team ain't loaded, then your front office ain't doing their job.
That's what goes with championships, man. I'm sorry. And then on top of that, it's a lie, you know, because just like we talked about in 2016, we went 13-3. and our pass rush was ranked 31st. He had no offseason with his weapons, so Dez missed 3 games. That's definitely imperfect. They try to say that the offensive line was the best, but it actually was not. Free was the weak link on it, and we was ranked 4th. So it just, it's like, no, it's nothing perfect in the game of football. You know what I mean? He had to play real good to do what he did. So it's just what it is, man. At some point we just got to accept that we got a good thing and stop trying to, make make good the enemy to great. You know what I'm saying? A great.
He said, "Ain't too many Dirks."
He
Dirk,
real good, man. So just accept it, bro. Like Dak Prescott's on grown trees, man. It was 47 quarterbacks that was drafted after him, and he's still right now ranked out of the last 47 quarterbacks that was drafted 3. Okay. That don't grow trees, and that don't come in the 4th round. So
stop trying to play like you don't.
Take your blessing and just enjoy it, man. Like, okay, the days of us fighting should be over now, man. Like, it should be over. The boy finna be paid. He already tagged, so that's like I already done gave him basically the money. He got a lot of money already. Now he made $4 million in 4 years. He just made 33. So. That's just now.
And boss, man,
going into 2020, brother.
And if you're
2020, brother, we still fighting over that.
Yeah, and if your team ain't loaded, you should be looking at and if your team, thank you, Roger. He said KC was loaded last year, and I'm gonna tell you, if your team ain't loaded, you should be looking at your management like, why are we not loaded? Like this is dumb. How can y'all not expect to win without weapons? Like right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like without weapons. Like, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, my boy Larry Sosa, whatever quarterback in your mind that you think won a Super Bowl without weapons, he didn't. And I encourage you to put that quarterback's name in the comment box, because what I see people do is they hold Dak Prescott to this imaginary quarterback that doesn't even exist.
Right.
Like Dak has to take us down the road. He has to do like that guy doesn't exist. No one's ever done that. Tom Brady's never even done that.
Quarterback that fit their description. His name is God.
like Tom Brady even had weapons. Tom Brady went and think about this. Tom Brady had the number 1 defense in the NFL, and even in that they drafted a wide receiver in the 1st round. They traded for Mohamed Sanu, and they signed Antonio Brown. But Dak can't have no weapons, though. Dak can't have no weapons. Tom Brady, come on, bruh. They went and got 3 different wide receivers. 3. They say Cam Newton in 2015. What did he win in 2015? And Cam Newton was the weapon. He was the MVP of the league. But what did he win? We said quarterbacks who won stuff. Sorry about that. Almost making it don't count. Yeah. We almost made it a bunch of times. Almost making it don't count. You know what I'm saying? But I get it, though. I get it. A lot of people just, But, Larry, this is what I need you to do, man. I just need you to kind of just, whatever it is. My thing, it's late. I got 2 minutes. What you really don't like about Dak? Let me know. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. What is it? Was it the turnovers early in his career? Oh, he didn't do that. Was it the inconsistent play? Well, I think everybody has moments, right? What? Let me know, Larry. Let me put it. He says teams play Cowboys like Super Bowl. If Romo couldn't do it, how can Dak do it? I'm gonna be honest with you, Larry. That's your first problem. That's the number 1. You just told me right now what the problem is. You need to let Romo go. Yep. You need to let it go.
Always.
Because I'm gonna tell you this: Romo just signed a contract for $17 million, and he let us go. You need to let that go. That's what you need to do. You need to let that go. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem between you, Jesus, and Romo. I got a text from my wife that told me I got to get up off here because it's getting late, so I got to get out of here. And I already know I'm not gonna save you tonight, Larry. So I'm gonna save you another night. But you gotta let it go, bruh. Gotta let it go. Because I'm very curious who you were going for in that Rams game when we was in the playoffs. Yeah, because Romo wasn't on that team, but Dak sure was. That's all I'm asking. But hey, man, you guys already know what it is. Hey, appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. Ha Ha Clinton-Dix is a Dallas Cowboy. We'll probably be dropping some more content on him in the morning. Hey, man, I'm really loving what this free agency is doing so far, and we are having a great time, man, and I'm loving it, man. So, hey, make sure you guys look out for the new content that's going to be dropping, and most importantly,